Hello and welcome to the week 5 catch-up. We are in Factorio and if you've been following along you'll know I'm making an insanely fat bus-based base. So let's have a look. This is what we have so far. And this monstrosity here is our bus so far. It's very fat with very thin production modules along the side. And it has been growing. So I think we've added this on since last week. Okay, so let's have a quick look. So we have smelting up this end, which has, I think now 3 iron plate smelters, bunch of labs. Then we have a copper here. We have 2 more coppers added above. We have silicon, steel, and coke. I think that's, oh, and glass, sorry. Okay, that's what we have, stone bricks. And we've got some pretty botched together production for the pre-smelting materials off to the side here. It's not beautiful, and there's a bit of spaghetti feeding all these products onto the bus at the front. This is our quartz, so stone gets crushed, becomes quartz, that is then smelted into silicon. Then that goes off to make electronic chips. Since last week, we have really started to use up our starter resources. So this was our iron patch. It is now depleted entirely. We are now running the entire base from this train stop, which is fed from this outpost. Similarly, our starting copper is almost dry. So we had to set up a copper outpost all the way out here. And has this had any 2 kills, 4 kills? Yeah, so we're starting to get kills out here because there is a great big base out here, which I think is within pollution range. These all are. So, and maybe even this one. So we're going to have to do some serious biter killing soon. In terms of petrochemicals, that's happening up here. So we have a refinery stack. And that currently is just becoming plastic and sulfur, which is fine. But we're going to need a lot more materials soon because the next week my push is going to be for robots. And robots require lubricant and various other petrochemicals to make them work. So this all feeds in here. Our bus is essentially as it was, but I've got a few things on it. So first of all, we finally have cliff explosives. I am so pleased we have cliff explosives. That's allowed me to get rid of some of the absolute mess which was on the bus beforehand. We have explosives. That's going to be used for various ordnance. We have a power poles factory, concrete, blue research chips. And I took the approach that we're going to not ship sulfuric acid around. We'll just make it on site because it's very easy to ship the solids on the bus. I'm bringing water in anyway for various processes, so just make the sulfur on site. It's more than enough to keep the blue chips going. We have red chips. That required plastic, but yeah, it's working. We have this little factory here that makes all our petrol related stuff. And then we're getting back into things we had previously. So we've got electronic components, which are glass, silicon, plastic. We have these military cards, which rather confusingly require electronic components to make. They also require creep, the biomass that spawns underneath alien patches. And then we're back into stuff which we definitely had already. We've got train-related stuff, steel gears and bars, engines. So these are the tier 1 engines. This makes pipes, mining drills, and assembly machines. Yellow ammo. Green research cards. Generic inserters. We've had to expand our green circuit production quite a lot. So I think in practice, we have more than quadrupled the production rate, although we've doubled the size of the build There was some issues with the original build with inserter speeds that meant that it was underproducing in any case. The blue engines needed expanding. Right, this is our tiny little belt factory. So at some point I will add the red tier of belt on here. But right now I'm building everything with yellow belts. We have yellow engines, the red tech cards. These are the, what are they called? The cores. I can't remember the proper name. What is it? Automation core. Yeah, and they're used in a lot of places where green circuits are used in vanilla. I'm making iron bars on the bus because they're a resource which is used in lots of downstream processes. Iron gears, similarly. Then these are the blank tech cards. So for everything but the first research, you have to have a blank tech card, which you then process with other ingredients to produce the research-specific tech card. Slightly weird. And then these are the original tech cards, which are just copper coil and wood. We had to improve our wood production here because we need slightly more than one greenhouse to supply enough wood for these assemblers. We only had one. We couldn't really expand it earlier because there were cliffs in the way, so I've used cliff explosives to blow that up and make us some room. And then power. We've had a real problem this time with our electricity production not being sufficient to keep the factory going. So we have this one power station at the moment which has 22 of these burners. They're not very efficient. I think they burn through twice the amount of fuel they need to compared to using steam engines. So let's look out on the map. I think one of the things we will do quite soon is see if we can find a patch of coal which is near water. Here's one. Okay, so here's an 8.9 million patch of coal near water. So it's tempting to cover this in mining drills and then set up several stacks of boilers here. Also, there's a Factorio item. Let's see if we can find it. Gas power station. Okay, so that burns petroleum gas and biomethanol to produce energy. We can burn other burnable fuel. So it's really tempting to, because this provides 4.5 megawatt. And if we look at one of these guys here, that's 750 kilowatt. So one of these is worth seven or eight. I can't do the math in my head. About 8 of these. So if we can get an array of these up, burning off some ethanol, then we can probably solve our immediate power problems. So possibly that's where we'll go. That's pretty much it. So, and then we're going to have to landfill across part of this lake, which will be one of our jobs coming up quite soon. The next tech cards, right, so we've done the blues. The next one will be the production tech card. And right, so let's set the recipe for this to production tech, wherever that is. Oh, I haven't unlocked it currently. Let's okay, so let's see what this recipe is. Oh, have I not? Maybe I'm not pressing the right thing. Okay, so I wanted to. I can't see what the recipe is. Turn the editor off, so we can do it in FNEI. So the next card will be production tech, I believe. Okay, so that needs uranium, blank tech cards, fast belts, production modules. And utility tech. Whoops. Try that again. Okay, so this requires blue chips, low density structures, rocket fuel, blank tech cards. So the next techs are a little way off. There's quite a lot of stuff for us to figure out. And because of that, quite a lot more bus. But as I say, the big push now is going to be getting us towards robots and expanding our power. What I could do, this is right by water, so I might set up refineries exactly here by this water and turn that all into petroleum, burn it all. That might be the way forward. Anyway, we will discover all this next week. So, thanks so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this series. I'm enjoying playing it. I will see you again after the weekend. Bye-bye.